former prisoner and inmate.
You did it.
What are you doing, Guns?
You bit the hell out of me.
Wanna see you with your hands up. Going straight to the sky, let me see you put your hands up. Cause we do till we die and we on another level.
I'm at New York City.
To the first we goodbye, got a piece of the pie. Told you once, told you twice that we only got one life.
On the way to achieve success after prison, he's going to share his story with us right now.
Diamond shine, best at night. You wear yours, I'll wear mine. Go dumb.
What's up? So, welcome back to another edition or episode or whatever you want to call these. I said I was going to continue sharing stories from my youth and kind of work my way up through when I got locked up and then talk some prison stories. I've done most of them before, but I took a lot of them down when they banned my channel for 6 months and then I had to reactivate them. There's a lot of them, like, they were not that good. Like, I don't think the production quality was very good. I didn't think I did it very good. So I said, I'll just re-record them. So I'm kind of going through. But then, because of this TV project I'm involved in, they're like, save these, the good ones for down the road when you're trying to promote something, including my new book and a TV series. So right now, all I've been focused on is this new book, Snowman Chronicles. I've mentioned it. If you're not hearing about it for the first time, it's about two huge cocaine dealers, or really smugglers, more smuggler than dealers. But they started off as dealers, worked their way up. One of them's got an uncle who's a cartel boss in Colombia. Another one has an uncle that's a mob boss, not a boss, but a made guy. And they kind of connect the two organizations together, thinking, mafia is interconnected through the whole world. There's always people back in Italy and connected to New York and Detroit, blah, blah, blah. If they can kind of work together and create this network, the mafia is a much more effective and efficient distribution network than, say, ghetto, gangs in the ghetto, which can be very effective. But anyways, it starts off slow, gets bigger and bigger and bigger, make millions and millions and millions of dollars. It's a huge, huge story. They get involved in Hollywood, politics, on and on and on. These guys live a crazy life. But so that's what I'm working on, full time, all day, every day. Not all day, every day, because I got the radio stuff to work on. I got other projects in the works. So, but most of my time right now is spent editing. Or, I have several revenue streams where I have to, work out, like AFTERhe Apparel. If you get a custom shirt made in New York City, we got you. AFTERheapparel.com, be in the description or in the little trailer intro. So anyways, this is what I'm talking about. Glasses, man. My eyes, the lighting here, it's right in my eyes. I hate it. I use cheese ball glasses. So... But, my wife always says, you have expressive eyes. You need to not wear them, but I'm squinting. Whatever. So last night before bed, I'm sitting here talking to my wife. I don't even know what brought it up, the subject. But I asked her, I said, do you remember Mike Hedge? She's like, yeah, vaguely. I said, he saved me from catching a case one time. She says, how's that? I said, that's a long story. And she's like, is this going to be a long one? I'm like, I'll shorten it up. So I ended up telling her the story of how this dude, Mike Hedge, kind of saved me from catching an assault case. And then I had to go back and tell her the whole story. So I have to start from the beginning. And it's interesting. It's a crazy story. It's a typical night out with me and my boys in high school. So like I said, I'm at the point where I'm still and telling these stories. I'm still talking about high school and some of the things I did in high school and right shortly after high school. There's some more mobby ones, but I'll save them for later. But I'm never super mobbed up. I was around some old men, but did a few things. But I'm going to tell you about the night. It was, I'm not going to go as far back to say how it started, but well, I will. Why not? Me and my friend Marty were going to my friend Mario's graduation. Well, like, if I would have graduated, my class was getting their diplomas on this day. So everybody was there, but Marty went to a private school and I was kicked out of school. So we hooked up and smoked a big old joint on the way to the ceremony in the auditorium at the school, right? We just want to be there, support our boys, clap, cheer, whatever. So he had a Mustang. It might not have been my Mustang. I can't remember. But no, I was driving. I don't remember what I was driving. So we smoked this joint. We pull up. I said, come on, let's go in. We were late. We were showing up fashionably late because we knew there was hundreds of kids, but we were looking at alphabetically. If they give diplomas out alphabetically, we really just wanted to be there for Mario and my boy Jay. So we show up maybe half hour, 20 minutes late. And there's like a main entrance to the auditorium. Well, first of all, Marty won't go in. He's high. He's too high and paranoid. I'm not joking. I said, come on, let's go. He goes, I can't do it, man. I'm high, too high. He's a big old mother effer too, man. He's a big 6'4" muscle bound guy. He's just going, I can't, man. I'm paranoid. I want to go there. They're going to know I'm high. I'm like, who cares? He wouldn't do it. I said, well, I'm going in, man. Wait in the car. He'll figure he'll come in eventually. So there's a side door, right? And I go to open this freaking side door, and I can't say I'd ever even been in that auditorium. But I knew that's where it was, in that side door. So I walk up and I open this freaking door. Keep in mind, it's a real sunny day. It's like a Saturday, like in June or something. I open this door and the sun beams through, and it's the whole auditorium is filled with like my boys, all the girls from the neighborhood, and their parents. A lot of them knew me. Some of them knew me. And so, no, they didn't dislike me. They knew I was a troubled kid, and they knew I been to jail, and they knew I had some, trouble with the law. I don't think they all knew I was a drug dealer, but some of them did, I'm sure. So as I open the door and walk in, there's a cop. The school cop is standing right there. His name is Officer Chapman. I actually blew up I put a homemade bomb made out of a softball in his door on Devil's Night and blew it off. We knew where he lived. But he never liked me. He didn't give me a lot of trouble because he was the school cop and I didn't go to the school. But he just looked at me like you're a scumbag. He handed me a flyer one time for a sound ordinance because my kicker was so loud, and he pulls up and goes, here you go, Lindbloom, hands me this ordinance that they just passed. If they can hear or feel your stereo more than 50 feet away, it's disturbing the peace or noise pollution or something like that. So he says to me, now keep in mind, I'm dressed pretty slick, got a big gold chain on, probably a watch and a ring and a little jewelry, so he says, what's up, Lindbloom? How's the drug business? He says it loud as hell, right there with all my friends and their families and their girlfriends' families. Right there, he goes, and everybody turned and looked at me because it was kind of quiet in there. And I yanked this door open, and the sun's blasting through, and I come walking in, and the whole place is looking at me. There's probably, I don't know, 300 people in there, maybe more, 400, I don't know, quite a few. And I open the door and go to walk in, and this douchebag is right here, and he goes, what's up, Lindbloom? How's the drug business? I was so embarrassed. I said, I wouldn't know, man. I got a job. And I just kept walking between the chairs, rows of chairs. It's the auditorium of chairs that go up. And I see my boys are all in the corner, way back in the corner. This is a long, crazy story. So I go up there, and as I'm walking up there, I'm seeing friends and family that know me, and they're like, hey, Al, how you doing, Al? And these are like girls that I dated, and, their brothers and sisters and families and mothers and dads. They all wave, I wave, whatever. People are looking at me like if they didn't know me, like, who's this freaking dude showing up with the big gold chain late, whatever. So I get up in the corner and with my boys, and they're like, yo, you're in charge of getting the booze for Mario's party tonight. Mario's having a graduation party. That's the guy we're there to see. His mom said you could have a graduation party. He's like, hell yeah. So now they said, you go get the liquor. We're going to get a couple of kegs and some fifths and whatever. I had a plug at Captain's Keg, Mark the Juicy, who worked there. So he'd sell me whatever I wanted, you know what I'm saying? Even discount me. So shout out to Mark the Juicy. So I said, all right, cool, but I'm not paying for it all. I'm kicking some money, motherfuckers, So everybody reaches in their pocket and they start pulling out, $5 bills. That's it. Just $5. Five. I get like, $25 bills from them, so whatever it is, $100. But as I'm doing that, I got a big old knot in my hand, bro. I had a hood knot. It might have only been $1,000 or $2,000, but it was in, 5, 10s, 20s, throw a couple hundreds over the top, and you just like, bang. So I look at that officer. Now he's on the other side of the auditorium right now, but he's watching me, and these guys are all handing me money. Boom, 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 boom. So he thinks I'm freaking selling drugs. Like, I was well beyond hand-to-hand drug sales at this point. I didn't even touch. I don't think I sold a little weed from my house, maybe a quarter pound a week to like my best customers or friends or stuff like that. But everybody else sold weed for me. Like, I had 4, 5, 6 guys that were all selling. You give them a pound and they go, boom. So that's where I was. So as I'm walking out, I can't remember what he said. He said something, but it wasn't. He said the drug business thing the first time. On the way back, he said something slick, and I walk out. So I said, I'm going to go get the booze. Once Mario got he went up there in his cap and ground, and he, got his diploma, I'm out. Let's go. So I get the liquor. I set it all up. I actually didn't pick it up. I just prepaid it and let them go pick it up because I had to go somewhere. My grandparents were having an anniversary party on this night. And this anniversary party, it was like a big deal. Like, half the mob was there. You know what I'm saying? Half the men in that room were connected to the mob, whether it's just, just related or involved in things. But tons and tons of them. And this is like probably 100 people were there. It was at a hall. I can't remember the name of it. It was right off Mac, right on Mac. Right by Myers. So I get dressed up. I put a suit and tie on. Well, this is the thing. I remember my grandmother saying that she wanted to go on a trip to Hawaii, and I had a bunch of money, so I went and bought them one. It's a sad story because I actually don't think they ever went, and that was because people in my family were saying I paid for this with drug money. But anyways. I go to this anniversary party. I get all dressed up. I think I bring my girlfriend. So, why not? She's all dressed up. It's kind of a black tie affair. I wear a suit, tie. A party, everybody's giving gifts to them, handing out gifts. And I gave them this trip. And she took it like, cool, it's exciting, thank you. But I think it was my aunt or somebody who told her, he bought it with drug money. You can't take that. They tried to give it back, and I said, I don't want it back. Throw it out. And this is what it is. It's for you. I lied and said I was a loan shark, is what I'd say. I lied and say I got money on the street. I am a loan shark, but not a drug dealer because I was embarrassed. I didn't want them, knowing I was selling drugs. Plus, I'd already been busted for selling steroids. I already got busted for selling steroids. This is about the time I was out on bond waiting to go to jail. This is the one where my grandpa had the judge keep me out of prison. Anyways, so I remember hanging out this party, but the thing is, Mario was having his graduation party at the same time. So I suited up and hung out with my girlfriend at this anniversary party with all these old wise guys and this old Italians. That's all it was. I stayed for, I don't know, not the 2 hours. It probably was from like 5:30 to 7:30 or something like that, 8, something like that. Then I remember dancing with all my little cousins, the girls. And then I said, all right, I'm leaving. And I left. I said, I'm going. Now I told my girl, I said, I'm going to Mario's party. All right. I kind of told her, just go home. I'll be by later after the party, is what I told her. She's like, okay, she'll wait. So I drive to Mario's house and I pull up. The street's lined with cars, all these different cars, not even dark yet. All these freaking cars lying on the street, like, 50 cars. But everybody's out on the front lawn, like pushing and shoving. There's like some kind of weird fight happening, But this is like our boys. This is our school. Like, who would they be fighting? Because we always fought other schools. We always got in the drama with other schools. Not much in-house. Pushing and shoving, pushing and shoving. Now, keep in mind, I pull up, I got a suit on. I don't know if I had my Mustang yet at the time. I think I did. Black Mustang. So I jump out of the car, like, because I was always in drama, so I run up and say, yo, what's happening? It's a fight, And somebody says, Al, it's Paul Mock and Mark Monday. We're about to get in a fight. And like these guys were boys. They grew up together. They're kind of both a couple of years older, like 2 years older than us, so they already graduated. But and I'm like, why are they fighting, man? Those guys grew up together. They're boys, you know. And they said they're fighting over you. I said, fighting over me? What'd I do? And apparently Mark Monday was bad mouthing me because I didn't know Mark Monday well at the time. He didn't like me. He actually punked me out once or twice. True story. Only reason I didn't try to fight him is because he had his crew, and if I fought him, I'm fighting them all. And they were actually cool dudes, and I liked them. They just didn't know me, and I didn't want to get into beef with them. So I was like, hey, well, he didn't really do anything. I pulled up one time with my friend Mark Hammerschmidt, who I've had on this show one time, and I actually talked about this on that video, how he kind of saved me. And I jump out of the car to go to this party, Christine Jakowski's party, and Monday was kind of like walking into his car or something. He's looking at me and goes, he looks at Mark, both names Mark. So he looks at my friend Mark and goes, he's lucky he's with you. He's like, I'll beat his ass. And I said, so this dude, so I said, why, man? Why, like, what's your problem with me? What's your beef with me? He says, I just don't like you. I think he thought that I stole his coat, which I didn't. My friend Ricky did. Ricky Witcher, scumbag thief. That's how I got my first like felony and when I was a kid, is because of him. He was stealing jackets out of lockers and selling them. Well, he stole one and told me that it was his brother's. So I gave him like a quarter ounce of weed, his bad leather jacket, like something like that. Turned out the guy who saw me wearing it. He's like, that's my coat. Told the cop. I get busted. I get arrested. I get charged. All this. I won't give up Ricky, so they hit me with a interference of a police investigation or something like that. So this guy Mark Monday, he thinks that I may have stole his coat, maybe because I heard his coat was stolen. I don't know. He just didn't like me, man. He'd see me in the hallway. He's a real good-looking guy, man. Real good, handsome guy. He's got these like crystal blue eyes. Kind of a scary looking dude, man. I'd walk by in the hallway at school when I was there, and he'd stare at me. And I go by. I'm like, man, this freaking guy don't like me. And then, like I said, a year later, whatever, I'm walking up to this party, and he's like, tells Mark Hammerschmidt, he's like, he's lucky he's with you. I'd beat his ass. And that's when I said, dude, why? What's your problem, bro? He's like, I just don't like you. I'm like, why? Now here at this moment, all Marks, that's funny. Another dude named Mark Maluchnik happened to be walking in, and he hears Mark Monday say that to me. I just don't like you, mother effer. I want to beat your ass or whatever. And that dude, Mark Maluchnik, was a freaking tough guy, a real tough guy. Not like a big dude, but a fighter. He'd fight. He's always fighting. And he was tough. I'd see most of the fights, I'd see him win. He was a good dude. I liked that dude. We became friends, real good friends after. But I know him. I'm just like, oh no, now he's got this dude too, you know? And they're kind of notorious for jumping on guys. So, and Mark Maluchnik goes, what's up, Mark? What's up with this kid? You don't like him? He's like, I just don't like him. But Mark Hammerschmidt, my boy I went there with, says, come on, Al, we're leaving. We're just whatever. So Mark Maluchnik and Mark Monday both look at him like, because they liked Hammerschmidt. They respected him. He grew up with them. He's a good dude. So when I pull up at Mario's party later on, but not much after that, maybe a year or two, maybe, somebody tells me that they're fighting over me. And I said, what's the problem? He said, Mark Monday was talking shit about you. And Paul Mock was sticking up for you. And then he said, F that Al kid. And he's like, man, I'm telling you, that kid's solid. Because I hung around Paul's brother, R.I.P. Dennis. He died last year. He was his younger brother. He's like, Dennis was my age. And I hung around him a little bit. These were two rich kids. They were rich. Probably the richest friend I had from the hood. And Dennis is this real handsome blonde kid. Super handsome. Funny, charming. He had the world in his hands. If he didn't do drugs, he could have been the president. I'm just saying. But his brother Paulie, who I knew good. I knew Paulie good. Paulie had seen me get in a bunch of fights. He'd seen me. I'm trying to think if that was before or after the rest of this story. No, it had to be after. Paul had seen me like knock mother effers out at parties, rival school parties, right? In the clubs, and he'd just see me wham knocking guys out. And I stuck up for Dennis one time. So somebody was trying to steal his moped, and I grabbed the guy, wouldn't let him have it. So he liked me. Paulie liked me. But Mark Monday did not like me. So Paulie, who's a pretty tough kid, like he's well known for fighting. He's a fighter. He ain't like the toughest kid, but he's tough. He's a fighter. He's always fighting, constantly fighting, right? He's arguing with this dude, Mark Monday, over me, saying, Al's solid. I like him. You don't know him. If you knew him, you like him. You see, he said, that's one dude who'll have your back. I've seen it. He said that to him. And Mark's like, I don't give a shit. I don't like him. I don't like him. So they got in the, he's like, well, get out of my face or whatever. They push each other in the backyard. And they start pushing and shoving. People break it up. Oh no, it's barking. Everybody's pushing, like sides. Everybody's kind of picking a side. And they're all on this side. And then I come walking up. But I'm in the back of the crowd, so they don't even see me. Come walking up. Go, what's that? They tell me. Anyways, before I can even make my way up there and say, yo, man, if you got a problem with me, man, just take it up to Mark Monday. Cops pull up. You know, been yelling and fighting and pushing for like 10 minutes. So cops pull up. Everybody runs for their cars. Excuse me, I got to take up. I go into Mario's house and I got to change of clothes in the car. I brought them just for this reason. So I said, everybody's leaving. All these cars, like 25 cars, 30 cars is pulling off. There's another party. They tell me where it's on. Ursuline. That's the name of the street. It's on Ursuline. I said, okay, I know where that is. I'll meet you over there. I'm going to go change. So I go in Mario's house and basically everybody leaves, go to this other party. I'm the only Mario. I'm like in there with Mario's mom and sister. So I change into a like casual gear outfit. Drive maybe 5 minutes away, right? There's so many cars in the street of this other party that I have to park actually down the street and around the corner. Like just one of those little side streets. It's like 10 houses down. So I park there around the corner, which is good. It was a blessing. I'm glad it happened. And then I get out of the car and I throw my keys under the seat. That's how much I cared. Nobody was going to steal my car. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. I used to leave my sound systems, my pull-out Alpine, kickers in the back, amps up in there, and I'd leave the window down and the keys in it. Almost daring people to try. Nobody would. My neighbor said one time 2 dudes were coming down the street, these kids on bikes, and they seen it, and they backed up and they started looking. And then my neighbor kid, Chris Shamby, says, man, they better not. And like he said, you almost see the conversation, like, you know whose car that is? And they minus one of them probably said, yeah. Like, nah, it ain't worth it. You know, finding out, getting a beef with him, or he could be in the house. So I pull up, I park, I come walking up to this party, and before I even get into the party, 2 of my friends, but they're not mutual friends, are getting in a fight, and 2 big bad mother. So I talked about Marty earlier. Marty was the one in the car who never did come in because he was too high. Him and another dude named Mike McCauley, who Marty couldn't handle him. Marty is a big guy, 6'4", 260. He couldn't handle Mike McCauley. But Mike McCauley is the kind of guy you got hit with a baseball bat. That's your only chance. He's a big, huge, muscle-bound lunatic. He's not all there. He ain't there. He's he's probably about 240, 250. I mean, just wide, big, huge. Doesn't even work out that much. And he can still bench 500 pounds in high school. Or he's like 20. He benches 500 pounds. Just a big, massive, crazy mother effer. And then I sold him steroids at one point. And once he got on the steroids, he got really crazy. I mean, crazy, man. He tried to take on a whole Wayne State frat party. And he basically punked them all out. It was just me and my boy Jay and him. And but he was doing all the punking. I was just kind of like, man, I ain't gonna let him jump you, Mike. But dude, come on, it's 25, 30 guys. So you would take on the whole party. He says, yeah, mother effers, I'm gonna take on this whole party. It's big crazy. So him and Marty are out in the street pushing, and like, I didn't really see him pushing, but they were standing out. But they were pushing. Somebody told me before I got there, and they were standing about 20 feet apart, going, "Come on, man, come on, man. What you want to do?" And Marty was no punk. Marty went after Jay when Jay had a crowbar, and Jay broke his arm with a crowbar. Tried to hit him in the head, and he blocked it, and bang, broke his elbow, just shattered it. I had to tackle Jay. So Marty's definitely not a punk. He actually almost got in a fight with Gino, who I think would whip his ass. I would have whipped his ass probably, but he threw sand in Gino's eyes. And Gino couldn't see. It's dirty move, but I guess all fair and love him more. So these 2 guys are barking at each other like, "What's up? What's up? What you want to do? What you want to do?" So I not that I'm anybody, but since I know them both, I'm kind of boys with both of them. I figured I could try to deflate it, So I walk in between them. I go, yo, you guys, listen, we're on the same team here, man. We're all boys. You don't need to be fighting each other. I don't care what he did, whatever. No, F that mother effer. He said this. And then, my colleague's just going, yeah, man, let's go. Come on, man. And I'm going, Mike, I'm the only guy that Mike would even listen to a little bit. But if he wanted to, he's going to freaking mash me too. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't have whipped this dude's ass. No, so I'm just going, come on, man. He was the one I was more scared of. I had to test how angry he was. Otherwise, Marty's going to get hurt. And he was ready, but I sensed he had a little apprehension because Marty was a big dude. Probably didn't know Marty. And Marty's a fighter too. So, for a big guy, he was a fighter. Not a total fighter, but he'd fight. So if it would have happened, Mike and him, I would have put all my money on Mike. But no offense, Marty, if you see this. Marty listens to some of these. I love Marty. He's a good dude. And next time I'm in Vegas, he lives in Vegas. Why don't you come see him? But he got jet skis. We're going to Lake Mead. Anyways, I try to talk and deflate this situation, right? And there's a big crowd out front. Big crowd, like 30, 40, 50 people. A lot of kids, It's a big house party, summertime. But they're not going at it yet, so I still trying to count. But at one point, they say, stay the F out of it, Al. Stay the F out. Get the frick out of here. I'm like, all right. Well, do you, boys. Around that time, I look down the street through the crowd of people, and I see a cop car coming. And it doesn't have its light on. I just happen to see a cop car coming. It's down the block, like for 2 blocks down. But my eyes are always looking for cops, always, when I'm driving or whatever. So I'm like, cops coming, cops, Marty, cops, cop, Mike, cops. Come on, let's get out of here. Let's move. And at that point, Dennis was sitting against the back of his car, I think it was. He had this black, I don't know, Chevy, like Cavalier type of looking car. And he's sitting against the car and he's just watching people are starting to disperse, go back into the party and stuff like that. And he's like, people everywhere. There's people all over the place. But the cops coming. Now he's a block down. I see this dude. His name is Jeff Cooper. I found out later. Walks by and sucker punches Dennis right in the nose. Boom. He don't see it. Guy walks by, suckers him. Bang. But there's people everywhere. And he's like, who the frick hit me, mother ever? I saw the whole thing. I saw it perfectly. I don't say nothing because there's a cop coming. But I see the dude. And I know who he is. So everybody jumps in the car, or no, yeah, that's what it is. I jump in a car with Paulie, the same Paulie from earlier tonight who was sticking up for me, and the one who just got sucker punched is Dennis, Paulie's younger brother. Cops are coming, so I jump in his sidekick. He got a Suzuki sidekick, nice one, white one, pimped out, and so we all meet back at Mario's house. Now, the whole way there, I'm going, I saw who hit your brother. He's going, who? I said, a dude in a blue shirt, blonde hair. He's like, that's Jeff Cooper. Like, he's from my grade, so he's a couple years older than me. Maybe I think he's a year older than Paulie, so he's like 3 years older than me, like 21. He said, that was Cooper, that's Cooper, that's Cooper. I'm like, yeah, it's the dude. So we get back to Mario's house. Dennis is there. His nose is blown out. He's probably got ice on his nose. And there's about 10 of us. Mario, Matt, Gregory, Raymond, Jude. I think Gino's with me. Paul, Dennis, and a couple more. So I say, you guys want to go back to this party and freaking, get this mother effer who sucker punched Dennis? I was the first one and only one who suggested that, just to give you an idea of what kind of friend I was. I said, I want to see this guy get it, man. He freaking just sucker punched Dennis for no reason. Or maybe they had beef. Maybe they had gotten an argument. Maybe they got some pushing. I don't know. All I saw was this dude pop him and then bang. And Dennis was like, what the frick, who hit me? And the guy kind of ran in the crowd so he couldn't be seen. So we posse back up, and I actually drove with Paul again. I remember it was just the two of us in his car, but we had like 4 cars following us. There's 2-3 people in each one. Maybe 2-3, I don't know. We all pull up to this party, which is not even a party anymore. It's only like 20 people, right? And they're older kids. So we all pull up, jump out. This is me. So we want an illustration of what an idiot I was. I didn't take my ring off that night, and I lost my ring, which sucked. But I took off my chain. I took off my shoes. I took off my shirt. Why ruin my shirt? You know what I'm saying? If I get in a fight, blood or ripped, whatever. So I took off my shoes. I come walking up barefoot, right? Which people probably think is weird, but for me, it wasn't. I like to fight barefoot. I always kick my shoes off barefoot. It's just, I feel lighter on my feet. I feel more agile. It's what I do. It's instinct. I don't think about it. Just kick my shoes off and go. My friends think it's funny. All my boys would laugh. They're like, watch this mother effer, man. They always say that if the shoes come off, man, it's going to get ugly. And it did, sadly, so many times. But anyways, so I come walking up between the houses. The driveway goes up and there's a gate, right? And in the backyard, it's still like 15, 20 people sitting around drinking and hanging out. There's music playing. We walk up to the gate and one dude kind of comes to the gate and they say, so the dude, I said, yo, the guy who sucker punched Dennis was kind of standing there too. I said, come here, homeboy. I want to talk to you, man. He's like, what's up? He's acting tough. What's up? I said, I want to talk to you. Come out here, bro. I want to talk to you. What's up? I said, you sucker punched my boy, man. Now you're going to pay. I said, come on, mother effer. And the kid, another one behind the gate, kind of a bigger, older kid, go, man, who the frick you are? Get the frick out of here, punk ass kid. We'll beat your freaking ass. Nah. I said, come here, bro. I'm still talking to the other dude. I said, come here, bro. He don't do nothing. He just stands there. So the dude who was talking the most shit opens the gate. He's like, man, little punk ass freaking 18-year-old kid talking about he's going to beat some ass. Now, I was muscle bound. I was ripped up. I weighed about 175 with a six pack. It was just ripped. Looked like a little boxer. So this guy, he must be drunk from liquid courage or whatever. He opens the gate and he steps towards me. And this girl who was having the party, that's her party, steps between us and says, come on, guys, I'm going to fight. She says my name. She says, Elle, come on, please. Don't, just leave. I'm calling the cops. Blah, blah, blah. You're not welcome here, blah, blah, blah. You guys, you don't want no problem. And I keep saying to that Cooper dude, come here, bro. I'm like, F him. You come here, man. I want to talk to you. And the dude, kind of comes at me a little bit. I jump back. I said, bro, I'll freaking break your face, mother effer. He's like, what's up, man? He ain't beat nobody. This guy's big. He's like 220. So, and I'm like, 170 pounds. But he was a sloppy 220. You know what I'm saying? A little bit fat and just a little bit big. Maybe he worked out. I don't know. But I said, I got sideways. I said, come on, man. Come on. What you want to do? And he's going, what do you want to do? What you going to do, kid? What you going to do? And there's girls between us. And then one of my friends, Raymond Jude, who knew him because his older sister was friends with him. And he knew me because he was one of my boys. He gets between us and he tells that dude, you don't want that, man. I'm telling you don't want that. That's my boy. I'm telling you. You're barking up the wrong tree. And the dude's, man, after that little punk ass mother, what you going to do? What are you flinching? And Raymond says, I'm telling you, man. And I say, Raymond, look out. And I push him aside. And the girl says, I shove her aside. And the guy takes one step towards me and just, bam, right? And I hit him in the nose, which is not usually my MO. But I punched him square in the face, boom. And my MO usually is the chin shot. I just knock him out, bang. But whatever, maybe I was mad. If I'm mad, then I go straight for the face. And, you hit somebody dead in the face, he's breaking stuff if you got any punch in there. So he goes flying backwards, bounces off the gate, bang, slides down. We go charging into the backyard. The Cooper dude who originally sucker punched my boy Dennis runs into the house, and I run after him. But he locks the door, the screen door. I said, I went to go to grab the door, and I'm like, come here, man. What you doing? Where you going, tough guy? You just sucker punch my boy and then run like a little bitch? I said, where you going, bro? Come out here, man. Let's talk about it. Come here. And he's standing in the kitchen and somebody else is in there. I'm calling the cops. He's standing there like a punk, man, just staring at me. I said, come on, bro. You going to lock the door? He said, no, come in here. I said, if I come in there, that's breaking and entering. Now I'm in real trouble. I said, I just want to slap the shit out of you. So come on back out here. You can't do nothing, blah, blah. So I turn around and my boys are now punking everybody there. All these older kids. They're like, what's up, man? You want to sucker punch one of us? You want to sucker punch? I want you to sucker punch me. Hit me, mother. And I'm hearing all these little confrontations, 6, 7 of them. Everyone's kind of barking. And they're just punking this whole party out. Spilling my water. So, I'm not proud of this, what I did next. Paul, which is Dennis's brother, got some dude against the wall. Dude's drunk as a mother effer. Drunk. And Paul's got him, pointing, man, did you hit my brother? Did you hit my brother? Because like I said, everybody's riled up and freaking in frenzy mode. We want to beat somebody's ass. Everybody wants to beat somebody's ass. I was in frenzy mode. So he's got the guy against the wall barking, mother everybody. And I walk up and just jaw jack this dude. Bam! And it was funny. It was like one of the first times I knocked a lot of guys out, but it's the first time, and this happened several times over the years, where you knock a guy out and you snap their chin so hard that they literally stand there for a second and then fall forward. Boom! And that was that. He bounced off the wall and I hit him. Wham! And he bounced, bam! Head bounced off the wall and he just went and collapsed. I don't know if that's sucker punch or not, but it was not the nicest thing to do. I don't recommend it. I was just saying that's what I did. And then girls are screaming. They're like, cops are on the way, blah, 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 blah. So I tell my boys, yo, let's go. We're out of here, right? And just as I'm walking out, the guy that I first hit at the gate there, he's bleeding all over the freaking place. Bloody mess, splattered his nose. He's like, what's your name, mother effer? What's your name? Like he wanted to know if I'm going to press charges or whatever. What's your name? I'm not going to repeat what I said to him because it was offensive to God. But I said something nasty and wham, chin shot, knocks him down. He slides against the side fence this time. I think that's where I lost my ring with that punch. I think I heard it go clink, 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 but I said, F it, I'm not looking for it. And so we start walking down the driveway. I'm like probably leading the way, I had like 6 guys with me, 7 guys. And as I'm walking down the driveway, I look and here comes the cops. They're pulling up. They're right here. So I'm just like, I turn around and go, cops. There's 2 of them, man, 2 cops pulling up. They're probably, they got the address, so they're looking for the address. I turn around and run through the yard. There's one dude laying there bleeding. There's another dude knocked out, and we run through the backyard, jump fences, run to the next block, jump fences, run to the next block, jump fences. And we got to where we were like 3 blocks away, and there was a house that had the backyard along the back fence of the backyard was like those tall, skinny pine trees, or tall, skinny shrubs, the green shrubs, tall, skinny ones, like 8 feet high. And there's a row of like 8 of them. So it was perfect. We just got like hid behind them. And so if the cops pulled, and they did, the cops were coming around with the flashlight on their car. They were looking, they knew right where we ran. So they're up and down the street. And before you know it, it was like 8 of them. I mean, it was just, they called every cop in the city there. I don't know. And just nothing better to do. Like, I'm a mile from there, 2 miles from there. St. Clair Shores has a lot of cops. And there must have been 5 or 6 easy. They can't find us. They're pulling up in driveways to get off the mag lights. They're flashing. I mean, they know we have to be somewhere in this vicinity, because they're quick about it. And we're all sitting there hiding. And it was Matt Gregory's fault that they all got arrested. I like Matt Gregory, but he's kind of a burnout and a dummy. You know what I'm saying? No offense, Matt Gregory. I always liked you. You're my boy. But you're a little burnt. And you're the one who said, let's go back. I'm like, it's been 20 minutes. Do you think you're going to go back? And they're like, yeah, the cops are gone by now. I'm like, so you're going to jump the fence right back to the yard? Like, yeah, we're only a couple blocks away. I was like, why wouldn't you walk around the block? Because our cars are there. They're going to see us or not. Luckily, my car was parked down the street around the corner still. So after like 20 minutes, they all kind of have a consensus. It's okay to go back. We're going to go back now. And I'm like, man, all right, I'm not going back. So it is what it is. I'm not going back. So good luck. My car's over there. I'll find you, later. And I think they said meet at Mario's house. We'll meet at Mario's house. It wasn't that late. It was only probably, I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock at the most. So it's still early, man. So they wait and they go back. And of course they jump the fence to get arrested. There's cops there. There's like 8 or 10 of them. Now the dude is going, the guy smashed is saying, the one guy's name is Al. Where is he? Al what? Al what? Al what? And to the, shout out to my boys. Nobody said my name. Nobody. All my boys were like, I don't know. It was some dude. His name's Al. I don't know nothing. They probably were like Lindbloom. Like, I don't know. I don't know nothing. Nobody got me that night. But they got like 7 of them got arrested. I'm not even sure what it was for. Minor stuff, trespassing, maybe minor and possession of intoxicants or whatever. They had 7 and you get arrested. So I end up like climbing down after like, or not climbing, excuse me. I come out of that backyard and I'm going to go the long way. And and this is like 45 minutes after, so these guys have been gone, arrested. They had cops in every corner waiting for me for like 4 blocks. I'm not joking. So when I come out, I got no shirt on, no shoes on, and some shorts, and that's it. And I come out from this backyard and starts walking, and immediately, like within 10 seconds, woo, and I hear it. They got their lights off, but it's a cop shooting down the road. So I take off and run into a backyard, hoping that they think I jumped the fence to the next yard, but I didn't. I jumped this way. Instead of jumping behind it, I jumped this way and jumped this way. And they saw me somehow. They heard me. So they go down to the next one. They got flat. You could hear them chasing after me. Their mag lights and their, cuffs and all that's going. And they got the light. So there's a light flash on. Stop. They're telling me to stop, or if you're under arrest or whatever. I'm just like jumping over these fences, basically just jumping right over them. I know people look at me, there's no way you just hurdle fences. I did all the time. I legit would run and just go over them. Today I'd kill myself, but at the time I was young and small. I could literally, you have the hurdle races. I was hurdling fences like that. So I lose these guys fast. They got to go back to their car and drive around. Now they're in every backyard, their flashlight, the mag light or whatever. I ended up going all the way down to Martin Road, and it's kind of a main road, It's not a real main road, but it's kind of a main road. It's 11 and a half mile. So I'm scared that they're going to see me because there's a lot of cars and lights coming back and forth. And so I decide no, they get me again. First, they get on me, bro, and they're chasing me. And at one point, I get to the last house, which is the one on Martyr, and I think there's no way I'm going to be able to cross that and not get seen. So I go running, and there's a wood pile on the side of this garage. This is like summer. It's summer. Big wood pile on the side of the garage with a space kind of between the garage and the wood. I literally dive in there, wedge myself down into this pile of wood, and it's so gross down there, man. I got spiders crawling over my face and bugs, plus mosquitoes were out there biting me, and I'm laying there. Them cops pulled up there, came in the backyard, and were like, he didn't come out of here. And so they're shining a flashlight everywhere. And they shine it right on the wood pile. And I closed my eyes so they wouldn't even see the reflection of the light on my eyes. And they didn't see me. They didn't look back there. I'm back there just, I was gasping for air because I've been running. And all of a sudden they pull up. I hear them coming up the driveway. I'm in a position like this between the wood. And I hear them talking. They're in the backyard. They're flashing the light around. They don't get me, man. Somehow if they would have just looked at the wood pile, they probably figured there's not enough space behind that wood pile it was a row. It was a wood row. It was not a pile. It was just like a cord of wood on the side of a garage. And so I get in the car and they leave. And I'm like, I stay there for about 10, 20 minutes, but I'm so uncomfortable and the bugs all over me. It's gross. And so I try to climb my way out of there, knock half the pile over. And there was a big pine tree in the backyard there. And trees are a good way to hide from the cops. They don't ever look up. So if you ever hopefully you never have to run up on the cops. But if you are, run up. Plus, you can beat the dogs that way. The dog will run up to the tree and then lose the scent and start going all over the place. And you're up in the tree. And, if you're in a big tree with leaves, I can't even see you. So I said, I'm going to climb this pine tree. So I run up, pull myself up into this pine tree. And I get up there far, man. I'm like 30 feet up there. It's pretty far. And I stay there sitting on a limb. I don't even think I had a drink. I was probably high. I probably smoked weed earlier in the night. But I'm just sitting on this limb, barefoot, no shirt, just bug bitten, freaking out. I wait 45 minutes. I climb down the tree. I actually jumped the side fence on the Martin Road and said, I'm going to pretend I'm a jogger. So I just start jogging down Martin Road. So if anybody drove past me, they wouldn't even look to see I had no shoes on. They just, it's just some dude jogging. So I jogged to the next block, maybe even went 2 blocks, and then cut down. It was quite a ways, about a whole block, where my car was parked on that corner. And I just jogged out. Nobody was there. I actually think a cop went by me on Martin Road and didn't even look at me because I'm just like, nothing to see here. So I ended up grabbing my car and going back to Mario's house. And Mario was already putting bond money together for some of our boys. He's like, I got $300, blah, 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 blah. We need a little more. And I'm like, I'll chip in. I think I chipped in $200. We got all our boys out. You know, bonds were only like $100 or something, whatever. So we ended up, I just said, hey, here's the money. I don't want to go see the cops and messing with me. You guys go get them out. And they got our boys out. And they got, some got it. I don't think anybody got any assault charges. But anyways, they eventually learned who I was, right? The cops figured it out. I mean, I guess somebody had to say something, but I think it was the girl who was having the party. She knew my name was Al when I was like squared off with this dude. And the cops were probably like, Al Lindbloom? And they're like, yeah, that's who he is. So I'm sure they got him. Does he look like this? Here's a picture. So that's him. So now I hear that the dude, the dude I punched in the face twice, blew his nose out, he wants to press charges. He wants to pursue charges against me. And this fat kid named Mike Hedge, shout out to Mike Hedge if you're still alive. I could have swore I heard him. Somebody said he died a few years ago, but God forbid, I hope he's alive. He was a good dude. I like him. Funny. Kind of one of those fat guys who are handsome and fat. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's a fat guy. Not crazy fat, but pretty fat. And but he was a handsome guy. And he had a great personality. He was super funny and like witty. He's witty. He was the kind of dude I could be around all the time because he was funny. And he reminded me of a wise guy. He looked like one. This dude could have been an actor and played mob guy anytime. A wise guy. He looked like it. He sounded like it. He was funny as mother effer. Probably why he liked me. He knew I had a little history. Well, he did know. That dude was friends, kinda, or knew the guy I punched, whose name I cannot remember, Jeff Cooper's boy. And the guy says, yeah, I'm gonna press charges on him, da 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 da. And Mike Hedge says, that's a bad idea. And he's like, why? He's like, you don't want to do that. He says, why? He's like, he's connected, and trust me, you don't want to do that. He said he's connected, mobbed up, and they got political friends. That's exactly what he said. Now, I had never even shared anything with Mike Hedge about my life. He just knew. Some people knew. I knew I was a Toko, knew where I grew up, where I had lived in the old neighborhood. I may have dropped a couple stories here and there and said, this is an uncle of mine, or I was at my uncle. So they get it. But they're not asking questions, and they know better than that. So he knew, and he says, bad idea, don't want to do that. And so the guy's like, I guess eventually the guy said, really? Like he was scared. He was like, so his family's mobbed up and he's got political friends. He's like, it ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it. Just let it go. You got punched in the face a couple of times. That's life. Life goes on. So he didn't press charges, So that's it. That was the night. I was telling my wife that story last night because she was laying in bed getting ready to go to bed. And I said, you remember Mike Hedge? Not even sure why I brought up Mike Hedge. Oh, we were talking about Boatworks, this little bar in the hood where everybody used to always hang out and watch football. It was like a loser. I mean, no offense to anyone who goes to Boatworks, but it was kind of like a loser hangout bar in the neighborhood. It's not a club, but it's fun to go eat some chicken wings and watch a football game with a bunch of people. But the whole, everybody would go there. So there'd be 20, 30 friends from the whole neighborhood. And Mike had a chair there one time, Hedge, and he goes to lift his chair up and move, and the top of the chair comes off, and then it comes down on his finger and smashes half part of his finger off. And horrible wound. I wasn't there. I heard about it, and so he ended up suing that place, Boatworks, and won. He won a bunch of money. So I don't remember how much he won, but it was serious. He won $10,000, $20,000, something like that. It's a lot of money. When he told me that, you got to be kidding me. I said, I gotta get myself hurt more often. Anyway, so. That's a little funny side story from my high school. I got so many. I wasn't really in high school, but I was, celebrating graduation with my boy Mario like it was. But I got a million of these little stories. There's a lot of things I keep thinking of as I'm talking. Stories that I want to, tell. Some fight stories, that's another thing. There's some people who listen to this and they think, oh, Gunner thinks he's the toughest guy. He thinks he's the tough guy. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm an old man. I'm 50 years old. I could still whoop somebody's ass. Don't get me wrong. Somebody, slap me, slap my girl, whatever. I got it in me for about 90 seconds, maybe only 30, but I can do a lot of damage. I had to go more than 30 seconds since I was about 17. So, but I'm not saying that's not what I'm projecting now. I'm a writer. I write books. I'm an entrepreneur. TV now producer. That's what I am. I don't project tough guy, bad boy. It's none of that, man. I'm just trying to live my life. But so if I share a story from my past, doesn't mean I'm trying to tell you I'm the toughest guy around or I'm still some tough guy. I was just telling you the story that happened. When I was a tough guy back in the day, and you're welcome to go find any one of those names and ask them, was Al a tough guy? And they're all going to tell you, no matter what I say, they're all going to say, you have no idea. So, I always had my friends back. They had mine mostly. So, except one time when I got jumped. That's a whole nother story. One time I got jumped and a bunch of my friends were on acid and they didn't even help me. As Kid Rock's party, the party Kid Rock had in East Detroit at one of his boys' house. And he wasn't there. He left before we got there. But anyways, yeah, I'm getting jumped on all these dudes and they're standing there watching, tripping on acid. I'm like, what the frick? Come on, man. I would never let my boys get hit, man. I've ran into fights where there was 8 or 10 guys ready to jump one dude and jumped in behind him. I was like, whatever, man, I'm going to get stomped with him. There's no way I can watch that. My friend Terrell, this black dude, was about to get jumped one time. I ran up in there. I said, whoa, what you going to do? I said, he's with you, Al? I said, yeah, he's with me. We drove here together, man. What's up? Like, oh, you know him and this and blah, blah. I'm like, nah, well, you fight him, you fighting me. So what we're going to do? Anyway, I don't know. But anyways, God bless. Hope you enjoyed the story. And make sure to check out my books, To Be a King, Volume 1 and 2. 5-star reviews, quite a few. I got about 150 on one book and 130 on the other. People are always comparing it to The Godfather and calling me Mario Puzo, the new Mario Puzo. So check it out. Also, check out AFTERhe.com. AFTERhe Apparel at AFTERheapparel.com. Get your city on the back. Your state on the back, custom. And also, I want to start doing some virtual training, like personal training. Because I get asked all the time how to stay in shape, what should I do? And I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time telling somebody almost like a secret. This routine it's kind of a fitness secret. And if you knew how easy it was, you'd be like, that can't even be. But if you apply it, it works incredible. I'm 50 years old, man. I'm still pretty good shape. Not in like crazy good shape, but pretty good. And all I do is 3 workouts a week for about 45 minutes. And I can teach you how to do it too. But you'll have to have an open mind and be willing to disregard everything you've ever learned from like magazines and people in the gym, whatever. A few guys know this. Basically, all the top pro bodybuilders and all the top pro fitness people do a variation of this routine. Not all of it, probably 80%. And it's shocking how easy it is to do if you know what you're doing, if you're able to push yourself hard for a short amount of time, but all your energy in a short amount of time, you can stimulate growth, muscle mass, get leaner, all that stuff. So if anybody wants get serious about training, hit me up. I do a routine for you. I do everything for you. It's just something I enjoy. I enjoy doing. I've been doing it my whole life. I've been training people since I was about 19, and always. Then I managed a health club when I was like 24, 5, a couple years, and was I had to get certified then. Then after that, I trained more people. Then I trained guys in prison. I was famous in prison for being that guy. I was the guy that said, you want to train with him if you want to get in shape. And I would take dudes who were like 160 pound, like 19-year-old black kids or just no build at all. And then like train them for a year and they just buff up, and boom. And people would see that and they're like, man, what's he doing? How's he doing it? And more and more guys would come along and say, can I train with you? I'm like, yeah, you train with me. You got to go. You got to freaking see the balls out, like freak out of the way, And so I trained over the years, literally probably 100 guys. I always had sometimes a 6-8 man crew of training with me. It's nice because they'd all get the weights in the bar and the bench, and I could just come walking out and say, all right, guys, do this, do that, do that, do that. By the time it was I was 3 and 4 months in, they knew what to do. So I could come out a little bit late, stretch out, do a set. But I push guys every set. I said, come on, I'll get it. And that's kind of how I am as a personal trainer. I'll be pushing you before your workout, whether it's a psychological push, whatever, but more of just a reminder that this is what you have to do. You know what you have to do. If you do it, you're going to have results. If you don't, well, don't be surprised when you don't have results. It's fun to me. It's fun to train people, and I enjoy it. So if you want to be, want a virtual trainer, I'm the guy. And I'm not certified, nothing like that, but I can tell you one thing. I 100% guarantee the results. If you do what I tell you to the T for 3 months, I think I charge $75 a month, which is peanuts, right? As a virtual trainer. And I'll give your money back. If you're not 100% guaranteed satisfied with your results, but you got to be able to look me in the eye and said, I did what you said and it didn't work, which would be a lie. You'd have to boldface lie to me, because I know if you do what I said, it will work, and it always does. Like I said, I've trained everything from 17-year-old high school football players to 65-year-old women. The routine is generally the same. It's kind of designed specifically based on your genetics, whatever your genetics are. I'll tailor it for you, and it'll work. And you just do it, it works. Boom, you get in shape. I mean, I'm kind of lazy. I don't eat good, and I don't train as much as I should, so I kind of let myself go a little bit. But so I'm not the greatest shape as I could be, but I could change a couple things and just smash it for 2 months and go right back to where I was. So it's not a big deal. Anyways, you need to forget that. I'm out. Enjoy. Have a great day.
Former prisoner and inmate.
What are you doing, Guns?
You bit the hell out of me.
Wanna see you with your hands up. Going straight to the sky, let me see you put your hands up. Cause we do till we die and we on another level.
I'm at New York City.
To the rest of your body, got a piece of the pie. Told you once, told you twice that we only got one life.
On the way to achieve success